Hello Apollonians. Welcome to the first Apollo Startalk. This is a series of talks to connect, communicate, and inspire all Apollonians. Today is the first talk, and the topic is unlocking your potential. I'm very pleased to introduce our two guests for today, Gary and Louis. Gary and Louis are our senior learning experience managers for the North and the South. They are the two powerhouses behind all the outstanding learning outcome and learning experience at 50 Apollo centers. So let's start with hearing from Gary and Louis, their journey, how they have unlocked their potential to their current positions.
Who's going to start?
I'll go first again. Okay, yes. So I first started at Apollo USI, LG, in September 2016. I was hired originally as senior teacher back in the old system with the plan that there was 2-3 new centres coming and I'd step up to the LXM position in that. As it transpired, the LXM at LG quit on my second day.
Wow.
At Apollo LG. So I was quite swiftly offered the LXM position there, and one of those opportunity arrivals that I wasn't expecting, but took it and it went very well. I was at LG for a little over a year and a half, and then I transferred to Huawei in Hanoi, the head office LXM role there for a year, or 11 months in the end, and then I got the SLXM opportunity for the North, which I did for 2 years, and now 1 month into the South position.
Right. Very interesting story. So you became, you were promoted one day after joining Apollo.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's now hear from Louis.
All right, yeah, mine's a longer story, I think, with Apollo. I started off, I came here and I did my CELTA with Apollo. And after the CELTA, I was a part-time teacher with Apollo 360 actually in Ho Chi Minh.
Right.
So I started in Ho Chi Minh.
Yeah.
And my original plan was to stay in Vietnam for maybe a year and move on and teach in different countries, like the typical EFL teacher. But I stayed in Vietnam. I enjoyed living here so much, working for Apollo. I became a full-time teacher, and I was teaching at junior on the weekends. And then moved to GovApp Center as my first role as senior teacher. I lasted more than 2 days in that role though. I didn't get a promotion straight away.
So 1 day longer than Gary.
No, more than a day, a whole year. I think a whole year as senior teacher there.
Right.
Then the learning experience manager there. And then I moved to a bigger center, LQD Center, Long Dinh Center in the south. And then became the GLX of both those centres, so it was quite nice. I had experience at GovApp and LQD. And then after a year of being the GLX, thankfully, I got the call to be SLXM of the North, so now I'll be taking over from one of the powerhouses.
Yeah, so congratulations again on both of you. You've just taken on a new challenge with Apollo. Yeah. So one of the common threads that we have heard from Gary and Louis' story is both of them have taken on the challenge that presented to her during their journey at Apollo. I think Louis' story is very similar to many stories I heard from our teachers. Came, taught, only stayed at Apollo and Vietnam maybe 1 or 2 years and moved on. But the opportunities was good. And then he stayed until now. Yeah, I still remember Gary at the first job, manager at LG. We talked a lot about managing a center and managing the academic side. At that time, we haven't called LSM, right? Were you the academic manager at the time?
No, it was Alex by that time.
Okay.
It changed not too long before, I think.
Okay, yeah. So you are one of the first Alex then. Yeah, we changed from academic manager to learning experience manager. Yeah. So you both are quite new to the position. We want to hear like your key targets or some of the things you really want to do in these first 100 days in your new positions.
I'll go first this time.
Sure,
Yeah.
take it away.
So yeah, in the first 100 days, first we have to get through this difficult time with COVID and teaching online.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful here that this will happen in the first 100 days, but I really want to get the students back to the centre.
Yeah.
And really kick off the face-to-face learning again with all the students back. So even if the students didn't study online with us, we can get them back at the centre, provide an awesome return to school, and just make that transition really easy for students. And yeah, start off positively when we're back face-to-face as well.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, well, yeah, likewise. I hope the opening happens in that time and we can manage that transition and get everything going as intended again. Obviously, I think the learning is a big part of it, because obviously with the SLXM role, I've been doing it for a couple of years and I understand the role, but with the new region, the new centres, the new people, there's a hell of a lot to learn. Small differences in little things that just to make sure I'm on top of and understand, so I can take all of the good things that the region has been doing and maintain, and then look at ways to improve or adapt as we go. But yes, so yeah, although it's a role I know, there's still a lot of learning involved in these opening days.
Yeah. And I also hope that both of you can have a face-to-face meeting with your LX team. You are new to the position and you have not managed to have the face-to-face meeting due to COVID situation.
Very true.
Yeah, I
Thanks
think
to
you're.
Zoom, I met.
Yeah.
Just Zoom at the minute, yeah.
Yeah. So we have listened to your journeys, and with Lewis, you start as a teacher. When was the moment where you think, I don't think this is somewhere I will stay for just a year? Do you recall that moment? Okay, this is somewhere I can stay longer and I can develop further.
Yeah, I think that moment came when I was, like I said, when I was teaching the juniors at the weekends. And I had the opportunity to work with different teachers at Bowcat Centre when it was quite new. So it was a lot smaller than it is now. And they didn't have a manager at the time. So it was really great working with a small team of teachers there without an academic manager at the centre or LX at the centre. And I just realised that it was a fantastic place to work, where people can share with each other. And after that, when we did get a manager, John, he noticed that I was helping other teachers taking charge, and inspired me and motivated me to become the senior teacher at another centre, which I didn't even have in mind at that point. I wasn't even thinking about going into management or anything as well. So that really motivated me. It gave me a bit of a drive, actually. So that's probably the moment for me.
I see. Yeah. So so you got it from someone else who really keen on your development and encouraged you to move up. Yeah, I think that's the story that many of us have here at Apollo, because personal development is one of the key KPI for all Apollo managers. And today we have over 80% of all our managers across the company promoted from internally. So come back to Gary. I think it's hard enough to be a learning experience manager for one center. Why did you decide to step up to apply for the position to manage the whole region at the first place?
Yeah, good question. It sounds crazy when you put it like that. I think, again, it was one of those, it's wanting to take opportunities that are there. Yeah. And obviously it's a whole application process to go through anyway. But I think I built up the confidence in myself and the skills and by managing LG in a full way that I felt I could apply to the region level, that I had good working relationships with some key people, that I then thought, yes, I could definitely take that forward and work well with them as part of the senior management team. So it was, simply that kind of drive of, like I always kind of say, you don't get any of the opportunities that you didn't put yourself out there for. Like you won't get the job if you didn't apply. So it's kind of like, apply, put yourself, make the best case you can forward.
Yeah.
And the people that make decisions will make the decisions, and
Yes.
you either put yourself in place to be there and reap the benefits, or you don't. So it was kind of, like that.
Yeah.
Position that I thought I could do, wanted the more experience and responsibility, and went for it.
You had to beat some tough competition to get the role.
Yeah, very tough.
I applied for that position at the time as well.
Yeah.
Gone through to the final round to get there too.
But now here we are.
So in my role of leading HR, I've seen many similar stories. So people who decided to take up the challenge, who went for the application, who went through the whole process and didn't get the job. In those cases, it's not failure at all. It's a learning. So for all of you out there, if there's opportunity, take those opportunities. Even if you don't get accepted, even if you don't get the promotion, you will learn something and it will help you to the next step that both Gary and Lewis are great examples of. Next question. Many of our people who are seeing the broadcast today are teachers. So any advice you want to give to new teachers who just come to Apollo, maybe those from overseas as well? What will be your advice for them to be a good teachers here?
Right, okay, good question. I think firstly it's always important to remember you're not alone. We're in this working as a big team together. There's lots of support, you've got lots of colleagues who've got fantastic ideas and experiences that you can learn from and utilise. So it's one of those, especially when you're new and there's lots of things to get your head around. You've got to learn the Apollo systems and how the classes run, the syllabus, etc., etc., etc. So it's lean on your colleagues, ask questions. So I know I've experienced it myself. When you're new in a job, you don't want to be that guy who just asks millions of questions because you think you're becoming annoying to people and things like that. But I don't think that's ever the case. Like I would never be annoyed by a new member of staff asking me questions. It's you don't want to just guess and get it wrong. Speak to people, share ideas, and kind of build from it that way. So I think that's a key thing. It's like you don't need to struggle alone. There's lots and lots of support available, and everyone will help if you ask for it.
When we talk to staff, one of the things that our staff mentioned a lot about Apollo working environment is how supportive we are as a team. So new people out there, not only teachers, please just ask for support. We are here together, and as a team, we will definitely achieve the target rather than working as individual. So next question maybe for Louis. I myself, when go out, ask a lot. So what does Apollo do? So can you give us a kind of quick elevator pitch when we are asked, what does Apollo do? What's good about Apollo? What do you say?
I think I got the harder questions. My elevator pitch would be that Apollo impacts lives. So not just in what we do inside the classroom, but what we do with each other, what we do in the community, what we do in Vietnam itself. We're always teaching the kids. That's the first way that we impact lives. We help them develop, improve their education there. But we also impact each other's lives at the office. We provide the great support for each other and create a really good environment. It's not just the managers who create that environment, it's everybody within.
Right.
But also, we're impacting lives of everybody in education as well. We're always striving to improve our product, improve our delivery, improve the service that we give, working with technology and new ways to reach more people as well. So that's another way that we impact lives as well.
Right. So great elevator pitch. We believe learning impacts life in a positive way. So because Louis complained that he gets a difficult question, I'm going to give Gary the more difficult one.
Okay.
So yeah, share with us one of the rewarding experience you've got being at Apollo, knowing we are impacting lives.
Yeah, okay. Quite a lot, thankfully. Rewarding experiences. I think, yeah, for anyone who's been in LXM position, I think one of the most rewarding things you can ever have is when you hire a new teacher who's fresh off a qualification course, never had any real in-class experience delivering, and working with them over those first few months and seeing the impact of like your advice and support and help be manifested in the classroom.
Yes.
Seeing that teacher improving week in, week out, taking on feedback, trying new things, not being afraid to experiment in the classroom and do different things, step out of their comfort zone at times. And seeing someone go through that journey, and then there's so many teachers I worked with that you look back at the end of their first contract to the teacher they were at the start and where they are now, and it's like, they've come leaps and bounds. Of course, as an LXM, you're very proud of that. Obviously, it's not all down to an LXM at all. It's the teacher themselves acting, taking advantage of it all, moving forward. But because you're there working with them, you feel incredibly proud, and it's a very rewarding, satisfying part.
A great example of Apollo, where the best become better. So we've got we've heard many interesting stories and sharing from both Gary and Lewis about their journey at Apollo and how they unlock their potential to the current position. Now let's have some very short question and answer so that we understand more about you two as our two SLSM. So please just very short answer. First question, what music do you listen to when you need to relax?
If I've got a lot of energy, kind of relaxing, I usually listen to house and techno music, so like dance music.
I've been recently listening to like the top 100 like charts and stuff, trying to get myself up to date on modern music, essentially.
I sometimes try that to make sure that I understand what my sons are talking about. Second questions, which books or podcasts are you reading or listening to as part of the learning journey?
I'm currently reading the book *Sapiens*, the deep dive into human history. That's the one I've got on the go at the moment.
For me, it's a book called *Extreme Ownership*. It's by a Navy SEAL called Jocko Willink. So,
I just listened to a podcast by him. He's very successful in the Navy career. Then he went out and set up a business to train leadership based on discipline.
It's
very interesting.
It's a really powerful book.
Okay, last question. The quotations you want to share for today's audience?
I'll go first then.
Go for it.
So mine is related. I've actually got a tattoo with the symbol for this. It's a Japanese quote by Shunryu Suzuki, a famous monk, Buddhist monk. It's in the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind, there are few. So keep an open mind, keep learning.
Nice. Mine's related to sport, which is one of my keen interests. I think attributed to Michael Jordan, but I've read it attributed to different people. But you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So linked to earlier, you've got to be willing to put yourself out there and step outside your comfort zone, or you'll miss great opportunities.
Or in another words, in life you normally don't regret about things you did, but you normally regret about things you didn't dare to do. So okay, linking to that, let's jump in some games. At Apollo, as we are school, then there always games to ensure that our students are learning through doing, learning through playing. So now Lewis and Gary will also play true and lies, and you are the expert, so I will leave this part to you too.
Right, okay, so the game challenge that's been set for us. So a slight extension of a normal classroom game, 2 truths, 1 lie. Instead it's 3 truths, 2 lies that Lewis and I have prepared each other to quiz each other on.
So we're going to get 5 statements about ourselves. 3 of them are true, 2 of them are false. So first we're going to read them out to each other, and we're going to ask each other some questions to try and deduce the answer, play some detective work. And then once we've decided which ones are true and false, we're going to go through the answers one by one. And we've got some delicious treats as the forfeit if we get it wrong. So Hua, you can introduce the tasty snacks.
Yes. So we have 10 special treats here. Number 1, bitter melon. Number 2, wasabi. Number 3, lemon. 4, chili pepper. 5, I think a little bit like strange one. Fish mint smoothie.
What is it in Vietnamese? Does it make more sense?
Diếp cá. Yeah.
Not
Number 6, durian. I like to eat durian. Number 7, salty water. So just imagine you are swimming in the sea. 8, garlic. 9, onion, and 10, ginger.
So which one are you most afraid about, Gary?
Obviously, a chili pepper could be particularly bad, and ginger is one of the ingredients that I dislike, so I'm really hoping I don't get that.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm afraid of number 5, the fishy missing. It just looks horrible. Apparently it's a leaf that just smells of fish.
Yeah.
And a bitter melon, I can't stand that either. But okay, let's see how we get on. Alright, so are you ready? I'm going to read my sentences out to you.
Sure.
We'll start with number 1. I have 6 siblings. Number 2, I once played in the England rugby under-18s team. Number 3, I once played Romeo in my university's production of Romeo and Juliet. Number 4, in my free time, I like to DJ. And number 5, I have broken or fractured over 20 bones in my body.
20.
If that is true, quite careless. 5. I played in Crystal Palace Football Club's youth teams until the age of 14. I've been skydiving. I've been invited to dinner at Buckingham Palace. I've been in a Hollywood movie. And I have been chased by a shark.
Scary.
They got more outlandish as they got on.
Okay, switch.
Right, so we can ask one question.
One question per statement.
Okay.
To try to.
All right, so number 1, I've been chased by a shark. So how did you escape from the shark? Because I'm not sure how good of a swimmer you are, but I don't think you're faster than a shark.
Relatively close to the beach and got to the beach before it got worse.
Oh, so it was in the shallow part. Oh, that was 2 questions. Okay, your turn to ask me.
Okay, I have 6 siblings. Okay, what do I ask you? How many brothers and sisters you got? Where do you fit in the chain of oldest to youngest?
I am number 2.
You are number 2.
Yeah.
Not sure that helped.
Okay. I've been invited to dinner at Buckingham Palace. What was the occasion?
It was around the time of the Golden Jubilee.
I really want to ask more questions. Okay.
Okay, I once played in the England Rugby under-18 team. Okay, would I know the names of any of your teammates?
No, I think maybe Dan Robson. Plays for England now.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a good question. How old were you when you went skydiving?
23.
Okay, long pause there. All right, your turn.
Oh yeah, Romeo and Juliet. What was the biggest audience for your Romeo and Juliet play?
I think probably just around like 50 people. 50 people. Between 50 and 75, I would say.
Okay.
All right. How long was the trialing process to get into the Crystal Palace Football Club's youth team?
How long was the process? I mean, the process was quite quick. I was in it for 4 years.
Okay.
Where have you DJ'd?
I have just DJ'd at parties or just at home. Never played in a club.
DJ at home.
Alright.
You can DJ at Apollo Christmas party when you can avoid.
I was trying to avoid that. Okay. So I'm going to sort yours into true or false now.
Have you not got one more that you can ask a question of?
You still got the Hollywood one you didn't ask.
Oh, I thought we finished. Okay. In a Hollywood movie. Well, obviously I'm going to ask you which Hollywood movie.
Okay, yeah. The Impossible.
I never heard of that. This one's clearly a lie. I just gave a fake movie. Okay. Not Mission Impossible.
No.
Okay. The Impossible.
What was the first bone which you broke?
It was actually probably one of the least exciting ones. It was my pinky. You can see that it's kind of a bit bent. Just a tiny bit.
Could be natural, could be fracture.
Is that an insult? Okay. I actually think the Hollywood movie one is true because that sounds like it wasn't a very successful movie. I'm sure that was nothing to do with you being in it.
What are you trying to say?
I don't think you've been skydiving. I just think that's something that you put in there like, oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. What's something crazy that I can put in my sentences?
Maybe.
So we do one by one and start
I think
enjoying the treat?
No, we did the answers afterwards after we've locked in the scores. Yeah.
Otherwise, we could change our minds. If for the first 3 we pick a true, for example.
I don't think you've been to dinner at Buckingham Palace. I don't know when the Golden Jubilee was either. I can't.
10 years before the diamond.
Yeah, thank you. So I think you have played football there, and I think you have been chased by a shark as well.
Right. Okay. The 6 siblings one, I've no idea, and that could be just completely true or completely random. The bones and the rugby could be linked. And the pinky being broken playing rugby is a very feasible thing. So if they were both true, that could work. I don't know. Let's say Romeo. Romeo's just thrown in there at random.
So which ones are the true ones?
So yeah, rugby, bones and fractures, over 20 being linked to the rugby, and you like to DJ.
And the false ones?
False ones, Romeo and Juliet, and 6 siblings.
Okay.
No idea.
Locked in.
Logged in.
So we'll go one by one, see if they're true or false. So the true ones, I've been chased by a shark. Is it true? I've got it as true.
It's true.
It's true, okay.
Well done, Lewis.
Alright, well, let's go with the big one first, because if this isn't right, I've gone very wrong probably. So, you once played in the England Rugby Under-18 team. Is it true?
It's false, it's completely false.
Oh. So,
Alright,
Gary,
what's the punishment?
here you are. Ginger or fishy leaf smoothie?
Wasabi!
Does he have to eat the whole thing?
Oh, get out of town. I'll open the water immediately.
You will see Gary crying.
It's going to be particularly hot wasabi. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Oh yeah. To that.
Now you're in tears for the rest of it.
Yeah. I might be crying for the rest of it.
Okay. All right. So I put this as true that you played in Crystal Palace Football Club's youth team until 14.
I think we had similar ideas. No, completely false.
Oh.
Aha. So chili or durian?
Okay. The lime.
3.
The lime. That's the easy
Easy.
one. Okay. Have to eat the biggest bit. They've said.
Going down alright?
Not as bad as the wasabi.
Okay, next.
Alright. So I've got this as true, that in your free time you like to DJ.
I'm sorry, I'm getting rid of all the pips. Yeah, that's true. I think I gave it away this morning. I mentioned something.
You might have said in passing something that made me believe
I
something.
realised this
I
morning.
had a panic a second ago thinking, oh, was that an early double bluff?
Okay.
So you will do DJ for upload Christmas party?
What's
here first?
I've got a fee. So I'm going to go with one that I put as false.
Okay.
I've been skydiving. I put that one as false.
It's the truth.
It's the truth.
Where did you do skydiving?
Mission Beach in Australia.
I need some
Over
proof.
the Whitsunday Islands.
Got a picture. Okay. So I need to take another one.
Another one. Wow! Number 5. So fish means smoothie.
I don't know whether to smell it first or just
hold your breath
or just
take
go for it. I might do the whole thing. Does it taste bad or just smell bad?
You're gonna soon find out.
Okay, I'm gonna take the whole thing.
Yeah. You may ask
It's
for
a
one
fairly big
tomorrow.
shot.
Is it like juice? Is it okay if I drink the whole thing? Or?
Yeah, it's a juice.
Okay.
They order the juice.
It's okay. I think the smell's probably worse.
Right,
So
the
it's probably
smell's
good that I
worse.
didn't smell it. Alright, I'm happy with mine so far.
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
Alright, so I'll take your instinct then and go for a false one.
Yeah.
So I've said it's false that you have 6 siblings.
That's
It's
too
the
many.
truth. It's the
Oh,
truth.
true. And
Yeah.
you are
You're
number
one of
2?
7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I have 5 brothers and 1 sister.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Avoiding spice would be good.
If you get a chili now.
Yeah, it's doubling up.
Maybe salty water.
It is.
Okay. So you can
Washed
imagine
out of the sun.
swimming in the sea.
Yeah, actually, it might be quite good after the wasabi. Yeah.
It's that
Not my favourite shot, but it's alright.
Okay. So I put it as true that you were in a Hollywood movie. Did we? No, we didn't do it yet.
Okay.
All I know is it's called The Impossible. I don't know anything
Oh,
else.
sure.
I'm going to ask you some more questions for sure.
Yes.
Have you been in a Hollywood movie?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. So you're right. And it's The Impossible?
The Impossible, yes.
So which role did you play?
An extra.
What was your extra? What was your extra?
Random guy walking around flooded Phuket, in theory.
Oh, okay. Oh, so is
So it's not
is it a
film?
foreign?
It's the Ewan McGregor movie about the Thai tsunami
Oh,
okay,
really?
nice.
Okay, yeah.
in Thailand at the time.
2009, right? Is when the tsunami happened.
Yes, that's
Yes.
right. Yeah, it was a few years after that. Then I was traveling in Thailand and happened to get offered extra gig.
Good job. Can you? I'm going to watch that movie and look it up for you then.
This in the distance. I wear a red t-shirt.
Okay.
Might be a spot of red
Okay.
t-shirt.
It's good that you didn't play the main role, otherwise we don't have you here today.
I might be.
You could
Yeah,
have.
Unfortunate that you're not Ewan McGregor.
So in that case, it's good you didn't unlock your potential for movie.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Brutal.
Alright, right, yeah, so the final truth. You have broken or fractured over 20 bones in your body?
That's false.
How many?
I've never broken a bone. I've only fractured.
Was it the pinky?
And the pinky was it was like dislocated. Well, that counts as a break, doesn't it? If it's dislocated a little bit.
Yeah, grouped in the same.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought the same. Like if you went for the rugby one, you would go for that one as well. So I'd
So
get
you
to
were
on the double.
Your psychological trick worked.
Number.
Oh, that's the worst one for you.
Of course it is, it's ginger. Ah, disgusting ginger.
It's good for your health. So
Yeah,
just
so they
think
say.
about your health.
I'm good for my taste buds.
I can't keep track of how many truths or falses you've had so far.
I think this is the final false. We both got one false left, and
Okay, so this is a false.
we're both possibly wrong.
Okay.
Where it's gone.
So you went over your challenge of eating ginger?
Yeah. Not enjoying the taste, but
Well done.
worse ones than me.
Good job.
Okay, so being invited to dinner at Buckingham Palace, I said was false.
It's false, yes.
It's false. Okay. Wow.
So, and I said it was false that you played Romeo in your university's production of Romeo and Juliet.
Unfortunately, that is true.
It's true, yes. I was keeping count, I realised that.
Another one for Gary.
Final one. I've come off worst in this.
So for an easy one.
So,
The garlic.
you prefer garlic to ginger?
Yes.
Okay, so at least it's better.
How was it?
Garlic. Not too bad.
Okay, that's a good one to end on.
Yeah.
It's a palate cleanser.
Okay, and we have some more questions for you. These questions came from Ukrainians. Yeah. So first question: have you ever felt stressed and overwhelmed at work? If so, what have you done to overcome that feeling? So, Luis, you want to go first?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely normal to feel that way at work. I think everybody's probably experienced it at some point.
Exactly.
The biggest thing for me was just to communicate it. I mentioned it to my team, to my manager at the time, and I actually asked my manager for a meeting to talk about it, just how I was feeling. I called him and arranged the meeting. I kind of felt better already. I didn't even need the meeting anymore to discuss the issues or why I felt stressed. So yeah, it's really important. A problem shared is a problem halved. So I would encourage everybody to share and talk together. I don't think anybody's going to turn you away or say they don't care about your problems here. We know it's a great place to work.
Yeah. Okay. Great advice. So communicate your problem. And Gary, anything?
Yeah, I think that's the way forward. Like I said earlier, you're part of a team. No one's alone. There is support. Yeah, we'll have moments where we're stressed or overwhelmed about something, but yeah, talk to people, get advice, get support, and everything can be resolved quite quickly.
Yeah, so in a way, be vulnerable. By that way, we build a trusted working environment. Second question. In your opinion, what are the most significant qualities that an Apollo employee needs to make it through this tough period? Gary, you go first for this one.
Okay, right, yeah. I think, being a good communicator is one, especially right now with lots of people stuck working from home. Don't be isolated, reach out, still contribute and still speak to your colleagues and everything like that. And especially right now, I think kind of that being able to switch off.
But yeah, that's great advice as well. I suppose on the negatives of not being able to work together in the same place, but instead think of it like I get to see my students, I get to impact their lives, I get to interact with the parents and the customers still over Zoom, over the phone. We still get to see each other through Zoom as well. Like Gary's had meetings with all the South team through Zoom. That's a huge positive.
Yes.
Imagine if you'd never been able to Zoom them and you're leading the team. So I think let's take some positives from it and try and focus on that.
Yeah. So exactly, let's look at the positive side. And as a team, we are making very positive impact to student outcome and student experience during lockdown period in Ho Chi Minh City. And this is something not only the teachers, but everyone at Apollo is working very hard to ensure that we keep high standard of service during this tough time for our parents and our students. So next question, during lockdown, what can you do to keep fit and positive energy? With this question, we want to send our best wishes to Ho Chi Minh City team who are in stricter lockdowns and other areas in Vietnam. We believe that together you will pass through this period in a peaceful way, and we are all here to support you. So what routine can Ho Chi Minh City people do now to keep up their positive energy? Specific routines,
so physical things as well. I really like yoga. I'm not very good at it. I like doing it. I say I really enjoy it, but I think it's great just to refresh your mind as well as your body, and you feel really refreshed after that. As well.
And I mean, stuck at home, like unable to go to the gym, unable to go for a run or a walk or whatever. Like there's loads of influencers and people out there on the various social media platforms that have like 10-minute mini workout things you can do in your own home without equipment that you can find. So have a look through a lot of them. You'll find a personality that you kind of like, an exercise you kind of like. And
nowadays, due to social media, there's lots of things we can listen to while we do exercise, and that's kind of like makes the exercising less boring and something you look forward to. You can listen to a podcast or some music you like. Last question. As today's topic is unlocking your potential, can Louis and Gary give us 3 things everyone can do to unlock their potential at Apollo?
I'll let you go first.
I suppose firstly, say yes to opportunities, embrace the different experiences you can have.
Mine would be to keep an open mind.
Beginner mind, open mind.
The beginner's mind,
approach problems or challenges as opportunities to move forward and learn new things.
And then that part of that is believe in yourself. Don't let anybody put you down. Always think forward and think positively about yourself. Have some confidence as well.
Yeah, that's a good one. My final one would be
you want some help? So I think one is never stop learning. So always be proactive in learning new things. Even if it's something silly like about gardening or something, you just keep learning. You never know when it's going to be useful. Have you got any more?
I'm just going to draw a blank in a second. Don't eat wasabi off a spoon.
Yes, that's a good one.
So thank you so much, Gary and Louis, for your time and putting a lot of practical tips and advice to our audience. I myself learned a lot from you two today. Hopefully, Gary will be okay after all the food he's tried today. Something new for you, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining us today in the first Apollo Startalk, and thank you to Gary and Louis for spending time and giving us very useful advice and tips. We hope that everyone will apply one or two things in everyday life or in the journey with Apollo to unlock your potential. Next week we will have the second talk with the topic mindfulness during COVID, practical tips for keeping a positive mindset. With this second talk, we will invite a top expert in mindfulness and in psychology. We hope you all can join us so we can communicate, connect and inspire each other. Thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.